Good morning, everyone. So today I'm shooting a collaboration video about urban gardening. And if you've been following my moving experience, moving vlogs, let's just say that, moving vlogs, you know that we have two really great outdoor spaces. We have this humongous patio, which we're still trying to figure out like what the fuck to do with. And then we have our smaller balcony space right off the living room, dining room area. The goal has always been to start growing my own food, obviously in moderation because I am in an apartment building, but that was kind of the, for me, that was these outdoor spaces was a really great factor in us moving to this place. But the really cool thing is, so I got a couple books from, where did I get these? Barnes and Nobles. And the one that I really liked is actually this one. It's called Field Guide to Urban Gardening. And I was immediately drawn to it just because, hello, I'm an urban gardener, and how to grow plants no matter where you live. I thought that was really cool. But the most cool thing is some of you guys on Instagram actually know Kevin. So we were able to connect, and Kevin is going to come to my place and teach us all about the tips and tricks it takes to urban garden anywhere. So I'm really excited to meet him and to get started and to have him help me, because I think I've already ruined some of my plants. So I don't know how this whole gardening situation is gonna go, but I am excited. All right, so Kevin is here. Can you see guys? John? John is here. So you saw my place, and they've seen my place multiple times. Yeah. And you kind of have the vibe now. I get the vibe. So what are some tips that you have for me and for us, since we're all like beginning? Because I've also read your book too, so I feel like a lot of the tips are going to be in this as well. Yep.
Yeah, so tip number one, I think, is plants, the number one thing plants need is enough light. If you don't have that, everything else doesn't matter, like the water, the pot, like any of that is just totally wasted. Yeah. So the light is the most important thing. And so we're looking out right now at Asia's balcony, which is a south-facing balcony. So probably most of you are watching in the northern hemisphere, which means that south is the best direction because the sun rises in the east, sets in the west, which means south has sun all the time.
So what was that app you guys used to see what direction we were in?
There's one you can use called suncalc.net, and it'll actually like throw the sun over your address, and you can see exactly how it flows, which is kind of helpful. That's cool. Yeah, and you can do it throughout the year too. So like, cause see, like wherever you point your phone. So if you're pointing it this way right now, it's going down, so that's south. Because this is cardinal, like north, south, east, west. You know.
Is that how it happens?
Asia learns to navigate today. Yeah, so south is the best direction because you have full sun, right? And full sun is something gardeners use when we basically mean like 8 or more hours, which kind of like unlocks of direct sun. Yeah, which unlocks like all the summer crops, like tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, like all that stuff, which you could actually grow here. Yeah. So I would say that's rule number one.
So we were saying how I was living on the opposite side.
Yep, on the north side.
So I had no light, you guys know this, so I would not have been able to grow anything on that balcony.
No, you could for sure grow stuff, but let's say the hours of sun went from like 9 to like 4-ish. Yeah. You could grow maybe only like leafy greens and herbs.
Okay,
they just don't need as much.
Grow.
You can still grow.
It's what matters is like what you can grow.
The more light you have, the more ability you have to grow whatever you want. And there's such a thing as too much, but it's less of a problem than too little, you know?
Right. Okay.
So tip 2 is growing something you actually like to eat, which sounds really dumb and sounds really obvious, but I've done it a lot, and I'm sure.
When I read I had a huge list of things. And when I read your book, I was like, ooh, I don't really eat like radishes, or I don't eat that. But
people do it all the time.
Get out of control.
Because we want to grow things that are cool. Like I do it all the time. I'll grow things that are cool, and then I'll be like, okay, well, how do I actually eat this? So tip 3 then is it's kind of like the hierarchy of plants, like what's easy to grow and what's hard to grow. Okay. So a good rule is if you're eating the leaves, it's going to be an easier plant to grow. because it just doesn't require as much to get to that point, like lettuce or like herbs, any of that.
Yeah.
Really easy. Next easiest is probably like a root crop. So like your onions, your carrots, your radishes, your turnips. Then you get into your like beans, tomatoes, cucumbers, because you're eating the fruit of all those plants.
Yeah.
So it just takes longer to grow. There's more space. There's more things that can go wrong, you know?
Okay.
But it doesn't mean you shouldn't do it. It
Yeah.
just means if you want a guaranteed win, which is I'm always all about,
Yeah.
just grow some lettuce, grow some basil, and just start.
Okay.
You know, get a success and then like move up from there.
Get
you
a
know?
success.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what we're hoping for.
Tip number 4 is probably one of the most common questions you would get is like, okay, what soil do I actually get at the store?
Yeah,
And-
because your book is all about like mixing shit, and I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, you're getting too complicated.
You know what I
now.
realized is that's one thing in the book, because the book's so simple and so for beginners.
Yeah.
I realized I didn't offer any suggestions of like, okay, just go to the store and buy this.
Yeah, I just
you know?
want to buy something.
Yeah,
I don't wanna
exactly.
mix things.
So if you want to buy, there's things to know about the garden center is like, if you get garden soil, potting mix, compost, those are all different things. They kind of all sound the same.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna buy stuff, like if we're gonna go buy stuff for your balcony right now, we want potting mix.
Okay.
That's the best thing, or like vegetable mix. If you get garden soil, it's kind of like this weird mixture of natural soil that's not that good. You would
Okay.
never just only grow in that. And compost is like only nutrients and
Yeah.
not a lot of like the good stuff that roots need to hold on to and stuff.
Yeah.
So you want to go get potting mix, and I like to get, it's more expensive, but you want to get the highest quality you can find.
Sure.
Because like besides light, soil is the second most important thing. So
Yeah.
like you wouldn't put bad food in your body and then expect you to be ripped. You know what I mean? Like it's not going to happen. So the same thing would happen with your plants. So I would get like a nice high quality organic potting mix, which we'll probably go find at Home Depot.
And potting mix you can use for everything that we talked about.
More-
and
yeah.
like plants or like flowers. Or
You could, yeah, more or less everything. There's definitely some exceptions, like blueberries would be a low pH plant. You need something special, but we're not growing any of that, so
We're getting complicated.
we're keeping it basic.
We're keeping
yeah,
it basic.
yeah.
Okay, cool. Oh, plant mix.
Potting mix.
Potting mix.
Potting mix.
See, I already
Yeah,
forgot.
potting
Okay.
mix.
Potting mix. And the fifth tip, final tip.
Yeah, the fifth tip is the container that you want to grow in. And so there's kind of like a couple things. You need to grow in a container that has enough space for the plant that you actually want to grow.
Yeah.
So like I said, with like a root crop, like a carrot, if it's going to go down like this, it needs to be at least that deep, right? So there's those types of considerations. Things like a tomato, you want to have a big enough container that the roots can actually be in it and you'll get a good crop, right? Or like for a tomato, tomatoes grow like really tall
Yeah,
sometimes.
so you need.
You need like a trellis, you need something to support it, otherwise it'll just fall over and then you're sad, right?
Right.
And then besides that, you need like the right material. So you can get plastic, you can get metal, you could get wood, or you could get terracotta, which is like a clay.
Yeah.
I usually go with either a plastic if I know I'm going to use it for a long time because I'm not wasting it and it's just durable.
Yeah.
Or I get a terracotta clay because like the number one killer, which you'll probably end up doing because everyone does it, is overwatering. You'll water too much and you'll kill
Yeah.
it. You know?
That's my other question is when do you know when to water it?
Yeah. So terracotta is nice because it's porous, and so like it evaporates out the side, so you kind of can't overwater it. Eventually, it'll just kind of
okay.
spill out. Whereas plastic with no holes at the bottom, it'll just sit there.
Yeah.
And it'll just rot. You know.
Yeah.
So those are 5 basic tips. Of course, there's more. You know.
Yeah.
But those things will kind of keep you on the right path because it's like when you start out, just overcomplicating it is what will make you be emo and not try it again. You know?
Yeah, I know. That's why we decided to just stick to the balcony.
Yeah.
Because we were talking about the patio, or I showed him the patio, and he's like, "No,
Yeah.
start small."
The patio's
and
her
go
patio's so
up
big.
into it.
It's like
Yeah.
there's too much to do to it. You know?
Yeah.
So we're gonna go
I
basic over
definitely
here.
could have seen myself going a little, because I was like looking up like raised beds and all this stuff.
You
but-
could honestly on the patio you could do raised beds,
but it would
later.
have. Like, we have to start small.
We'll baby
first.
step it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Follow-up questions. So how often do you water it? Is that like for herbs or whatever?
Mhm.
And then 2, do you have to repot them
Um,
eventually, like down the road?
No, I mean if you choose the right container at the start for herbs, you're fine.
Okay.
And then how often do you have to water is a hard question to
It
answer.
like depends on.
It depends on like a lot of different things, but
Okay.
basically the idea is most plants like soil that is somewhat moist all the time. So you don't want to let it dry out too much. You don't want to let it be over soaked like we just talked about.
Yeah.
What I like to do is I kind of just stick my finger down and look and say like, okay, 3-4 inches deep. Is it wet still? You know,
Okay.
and if it's not, I'd be like, okay, I need to probably hit it with a little drink. And then eventually you kind of just build the sixth sense. You'll see the plant, maybe it's wilting a little bit and you're like, okay, I didn't water it. I need to hit it
Yeah.
with something, you know?
Okay. I
Yeah.
think I can do all of this.
You definitely can.
So this is my cut down list of things that I wanted to get because, like I said, I kind of started off going crazy, and then
went
he's
wild.
like, no, just grow what you eat. I'm like, oh, okay. So we have like a list of, I don't know, 15 things,
Yep.
which are all like mostly are herbs, actually.
You got a lot of herbs.
Yeah,
Let's say half are herbs.
They're
yeah.
mostly herbs right over here. So I guess we'll see.
Onions and garlic we'll probably skip for now, but
Okay.
everything else is a possibility at least.
Okay.
And so we'll just have to see what's at the store.
Okay, cool. So
Yeah.
we're gonna head over to Home Depot.
Yep.
That's like a good place to go.
It's near everyone. They actually have a really good garden center, so it's
Okay.
a solid spot to go for anyone. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
All right, here's what we got from Home Depot. What's first? First step, bring everything to the patio.
First, yeah, let's get it all outside so we're not making a mess of your kitchen.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we'll put the tomato probably right where you're. It's like there. Yeah, so this is good because east, I think, is that way. And so, like, the morning comes and just hits it all day long.
Okay.
This one's easy because this one's potted up. There's soil already in it.
Yeah.
You're good to go. You know.
And it's wet.
And it's already wet, so you don't even have to water it. This one is like a set it and forget it. You will, you know,
Yeah.
but just not yet.
Okay.
And then I would probably
How
just so
tall
you know,
will it, like here?
at least around here, I would say.
Okay.
Just rip the corner.
When was the last time you wore gloves for gardening?
The first time I ever bought gloves was 2 months ago.
Oh.
So I've never had them. But we've got drainage holes on the bottom of this, guys. So that means that we're not gonna like suffocate Asia's plants in water by overwatering. So all we really need to do is just fill it up, which is a pretty basic process. Do that. You kind of smush it out a little bit.
How much do you fill it up to?
I usually do just a little bit below the top.
Okay.
Especially for this container, it's just kind of shallow.
Yeah.
So we want as much soil as we can get. But what we have to remember is we're putting plants in this, right?
Yeah.
We can't just fill it up right now.
Okay.
We gotta put the plants in, then we fill up the rest.
My first time playing with soil.
There you go. So the basic idea here is you just want to kind of like hold it like this,
Yeah.
squeeze this a little bit to get it out, and then you can see these roots are kind of spiraling around.
Yeah.
So you kind of like loosen them up just a little bit. Nothing too crazy.
Okay.
You're not gonna hurt the plant if you do that. And then,
Hi, plant.
yeah, this is your new home.
Your new home.
And then you just want to make sure you get it. You don't want it sticking out, you know.
Yeah.
So you want the soil level to be where the soil will eventually be.
Okay.
And so you're good. I mean, you're good to go. We'll end up filling that one in.
And this one, well, we have to take the plastic off.
Gotta take the
right?
plastic off. Yeah.
Okay, these are stupid.
Yeah. See, this is why I don't wear them.
So when you do get like compost and stuff,
Mhm.
you just put it in your soil, or how do you do
Yeah. Usually, what you'll do is, let's say you've been growing in this for a while,
that? Yeah.
and you're ready to kind of refresh it.
Yeah.
You might pull these plants out, put some new ones in, and add a little bit of compost in, because anything that's growing is stealing kind of from the soil. So you
Yeah.
gotta put something back. Give it some more nutrition. Yeah.
Is that good?
Yeah, you're good to go on that. Okay, so now we're kind of like set up, but
Yeah.
we still need to add a bunch of soil.
Okay.
So what I would do is I would grab your little spade.
Oh,
Yep, that's what this is for.
a spade.
Come through.
Mm-hmm.
Push this over here for you. And then just kind of fill around
Okay.
until it's up at that height.
Well, this is gonna take forever.
It takes, I mean, you can use your hands too.
Okay, we'll just do that then.
Yeah,
Well, that was easy. I thought it'd actually be more scary.
yeah. It's pretty easy, yeah. That's why it's always good when you start to just buy the plants.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of biting off, like, if you start going to the gym, you start like deadlifting 500 pounds. No one's doing that, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense to do that in something like gardening. You might as well just start, get a win. This would be like going for a walk in fitness, right?
Yeah.
It's just simple. What I like to do now is there's like air gaps kind of everywhere right now.
Yeah.
And so you kind of like just give it a little, see how it settles? Now we can fill a little more.
Okay, so you want to get to the top with the soil?
Not quite all the way, because then when you water, it's going to be really annoying because it'll just spill off. Yeah, exactly. So you want to give it a little bit below. I think we're good. It's pretty good. Get a little more, a little shaky. Yeah, we're good to go. So when you water, the best idea is you usually don't want to like just splash the plant because it's wasted.
Yeah.
You kind of want to just go right next to the roots. Just boom, 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 boom.
Is that how it is with all plants?
Not all, but most.
So
it's
I've
just a good rule of thumb.
Watering my plants wrong this whole time. How much?
You might be.
Like that?
Yeah. Now I give it a little more. Because remember, this soil has never been wet, right?
Yeah.
This came straight out of the box.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, so I think that's probably good for that one. Yeah, let's keep going. Boom. Easy.
So that's just how I'm gonna water from now on. It's just around.
I would, yeah.
Okay.
I mean, you can water in here too, but the plant doesn't really need it because the roots aren't there yet. You know.
Okay.
Eventually, once these kind of grow in, you'll want to just like come straight down the line, just water everything.
So there's
But
not.
for now, you're good.
So just, but how much water do I put in?
That's hard to say. It's like basically you want it like here, for example. See how it's kind of still it's wet down there?
Yeah.
You're good.
Okay.
So like about that much that you just put in, it's
Okay.
kind of like a feel thing,
Okay.
you know? Usually the general rule of thumb is like an inch a week, but that doesn't make a lot of sense for most people because it's
Yeah.
like based on rain.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's why I don't give those recommendations, you know?
Okay.
So we put mints in their own container for Asia's garden because mints can go crazy. Like if you were to put mints in there, they would just take over. They send these things called runners kind of out and they just take over. So that's why we did it that way.
Did you take the price tag off?
I don't know if I did.
Come on, plant. I think this one's stuck.
Oh, see how the roots are coming out.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta rip those off.
Okay.
Yeah. That is a really good example though of almost what you don't want to see because the roots are so
So we definitely
down.
want to loosen it
You want
up.
to loosen them up. You can almost rip some off the bottom because it's
Rip it
just
off?
too much.
Okay.
You know?
Like that?
They're spiraling around, which is just not healthy.
Okay.
Because when you put it in here,
It'll
they'll just
just do
sit
that.
there. Yeah,
Okay.
and they just won't do anything. So give it a healthy massage. Yeah, you're good.
That's good?
Yeah, I would even almost come in with this bottom part and just really break that up. You kind of want to like,
Okay.
it feels mean, you know?
Yeah.
But the results are just better. Just loosen it up a little bit. There you go.
Okay.
That's fine. Break some of that up. Yeah.
Sorry.
There we go. So like that will harm the plant, but it's better to harm it in the short term
Yeah.
than to, you know. Oh no, we broke this down.
Oh no. Sorry.
Well, you can use this. The mint right there. We can put the lavender right here. And the herbs maybe in front because they're lower.
Okay.
At least for now, they won't block it.
So we want everything to face.
You just want, honestly, this is such a good balcony because you could put them over there too. You just
Yeah.
have the scooters there. So
Yeah.
for now, we'll leave it. But you could have done this exact same thing over there. The only reason why maybe not is because this
The
door
door.
opens
Yeah.
and blocks it. So this is like your spot for now.
Okay.
And if you ever get anything for the railing,
Mhm.
literally the whole thing is usable
Yeah.
if you want to.
Cool.
But dude, there it is. Got your baby garden.
My baby garden.
Life's easy.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So let these grow in a little bit. The herbs at least. This just whenever you start getting tomatoes, just start eating them, you know.
Yeah.
But this, I would let it grow for like maybe at least a week or two.
Okay.
Get established, and then from there you can start, you know, snip, snip,
Uh-huh.
whatever, and just start making your delicious meals.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so happy. That was so easy.
Yeah, it's way easier than people think.
Yeah.
Especially when you don't do like the fancy way,
Yeah,
you know,
like
you just
from
do
the beginning.
Yeah, just do it basic. If you like this, later on, you have a
Yeah.
whole patio, you have a whole railing, you can do whatever you want. You can
Yeah.
go crazy, but for now, this is a good start. So,
Cool.
boom.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh
Yeah,
my
super
God.
fun.
All right, everyone, here's the update of our baby garden. Here it is. I got this from, oh, it rained this morning. Oh, yay, you guys got healthy. Still a little damp, so we don't need to water anything, but I got this from Amazon. It's actually kind of flimsy. I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, but I got it because I'm actually going to get some like strawberry plants, and they need to be hung, so I wanted it here. But here is everything right now. We still don't have any tomatoes yet, but probably in the next couple weeks, maybe when I get back from Vancouver or Toronto, we'll have some tomato plants. But anyways, here's our beginner garden. The whole process was so easy. I would definitely recommend it. I'm gonna try and find some planters for the railing and fill out this railing with flowers maybe. But guys, I think I got the bug. So more videos of this to come. Once we start making more progress on the balcony, I'll keep you guys updated. Hope you guys learned something. See you later.